And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to musicals101.com's I'll Say. I am musical theater historian John Kenrick.
You really shortchanged yourself. But anyway, I am William J. Well, I'll fix that next week. I am William J. McKay. Let's do my full name. Okay, let's do that again. I am William J. McKay. That's my actor's name, my equity name. I'm a member of the Actors Studio, and you named the show. I haven't been in it, but we're working on that. Okay.
You were in a few over the
years.
Yeah,
I was. We will. Yes.
There.
Oh, so tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is something probably a lot of you may not have seen yet, but you should. It is a television series called Schmigadoon. And I'm going to let John take it from here, and then we will both talk about it.
Okay, little background before we get to Schmigadoon. We recently did an episode on what is a showstopper, and we explained that showstoppers changed a great deal with a show called Oklahoma. Rodgers and Hammerstein made songwriters into dramatists, meaning every element of the show, every word, every note, was part of the dramatic process. And the song Brigadoon is a perfect example of Rodgers and Hammerstein at work. In Oklahoma, as in Carousel, it was set in a small American community. There are very wholesome issues. There are some very rough issues. There are some very sexually loose characters like Adu Annie, the girl who can't say no. But it is otherwise a very wholesome, all-American place. Now, other musicals came along, like Finnian's Rainbow. Now, in Finnian's Rainbow, a leprechaun came to the United States to steal back the leprechaun's crock of gold, which was stolen from them by an Irishman who's brought it to America, hoping it will grow in richer soil. In fact, David Wayne, the actor you see there in the leprechaun ears, became the first actor to win a Tony Award for any capacity in a Broadway musical. Now, Lerner and Lowe's Brigadoon, that's the story of two Americans who are out hiking in the Highlands of Scotland when they come across a magical town that appears out of the mists, and lo and behold, here they find true love. I also am including this photo I found online of a production of Brigadoon because it just looks like it would be one of my favorite productions of Brigadoon.
And where is that, John?
Brigadoon is in Scotland, dear. That's all.
Well, it has very, very nice costumes, and
isn't that a marvelously costumed?
It does,
and it's a well-built production. I admire a well-built production, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, another musical that came along in the 1950s was The Music Man. All-American small town, the fictional River City, Iowa. The beautifully dressed people, the perfectly behaved children, one of whom is a lisping little boy who goes, "Oh, thither, 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 it's the most beautiful, shiniest instrument I ever saw in my life." Well, all of these elements come together in Apple TV Plus's new musical comedy series, Schmigadoon. And in a season when there is no live theater, this is the musical theater event of the summer. There are some musical film events, but this is the musical theater event because so many musical theater giants are involved. In Schmigadoon, you have a couple who are not married, but they've been in a long relationship that's kind of getting along. And they've gone out on a couple's weekend hiking in the woods when they stumble across a stone bridge and find themselves in the magical town of Brigadoon that has appeared out of the mist, where life is a musical comedy, a perpetual musical. Not that life looks like a musical, not that people just sing. You are suddenly stuck in an honest-to-God musical. Here is the actual trailer, the official trailer from Apple TV Plus for Schmigadoon.
Leave me alone!
Hold on. Ho. There we go.
The hike. I didn't mean us in general. I just meant the hike.
You don't want to make our relationship better?
Our relationship is fine.
What's that?
Church bells? Schmigadoon?
Welcome to our little town,
where friends are all you'll meet.
Must be something they do for tourists.
Hey, everyone!
Hey there, Pete.
Can we go now?
Already?
What?
We can't leave. It's like magic. We're in an actual musical.
Please, God, no.
Everybody!
He said we're only here till we found true love. Do you think this is true love?
What does that even mean? Who knows what Schmigadoon thinks is true love?
Which of you ladies wants to cross this bridge with me?
You want to try with other people?
What a beautiful couple you two make.
Stop it. You are stunning. Compared to you, I'm a barefoot mess.
Ah! Let's go find your shoes, shall we?
We're stuck here forever.
You're just going to give up?
We're smart. We found our way out of IKEA. We'll find a way out of here.
Ladies, can I get a cackle?
We're in a musical, okay? Nobody gets killed in a musical, except Oklahoma and Carousel and South Pacific. Oh, hello, West Side Story.
That's all the musicals.
And definitely the last Oklahoma.
Oh God!
Right in the middle of a wedding. Go on. I digress.
What they did
Don't start.
to the
It was my
last
fault.
Oklahoma, I wouldn't wish them to
Stop.
do to Trump. It
Moving
was
along.
unbelievable.
Moving along.
Moving
Schmigadoon.
along. So
Schmigadoon.
we've now seen 3 episodes
My
of
fault.
the show so far, and we both watched them over the course of this past week.
3
separately.
episodes of the 6. 3
Right.
of the 6
So
are out.
we've seen Act 1, and we're going to judge this show up to now on Act 1. We reserve final opinions for when the series ends. So sometime in August, we may have a follow-up on this. Let's get started. The whole plot takes off when a leprechaun, played by Martin Short, suddenly appears at the foot of the bridge, and he looks up at the 2 leads and he explains to them in a terrible brogue, as only Martin Short could do it, that the only way anyone can ever leave Schmigadoon is if they find true love. The implication being that these 2 people do not have true love at this time. They tried to cross the bridge together, and they still just, no matter which way you go, you wind up in Schmigadoon all over again. As a plot, it worked beautifully in Brigadoon. And certainly it's a wonderful plot premise here. I don't know about you, Bill. My partner has been laughing at me now for days because I find myself actually singing some of these songs. They're not bad. They're not great. They're pastiches. They are in the style of things that we already know. So that
Some of them outright, practically, in a wonderful way. This is not neither of us are complaining.
Oh,
It
no.
clearly is songs that are just short of it.
And I like
Of it being other songs.
one of the reviews that I saw in, I believe it was on actually CNN's website, was a review which said
CNN,
the
aren't
show
they
is-
interviewing you this week, John?
No, not CNN. I'm being interviewed by CNBC,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm also being interviewed by BBC, but that's for Britain.
I digress.
Why, thank you. We love digressions. Let's take a look at the title tune of Schmigadoon, just a bit of it.
Now, why is music coming from everywhere?
Welcome to our little town,
Where friends are all you'll meet.
and you will never see a frown.
Hey, everyone!
Hey there, Pete. We bet you're probably wondering what we call the most beautiful, wonderful, magical place of all.
Let me pause here for 1 second. Keep in mind, she loves musicals. His character can't stand them.
It's so unlike the general population because men usually love musicals. I'd also like to point out that Pete there, did you notice that he's standing in front of an Apple store?
Oh, yes.
Apples that sells actual apples.
Of course.
Yes.
You will also find one of the stores in town, the sign on it is Hammerstein and Sons.
Correct.
Can't argue with that. Love it.
Correct.
Onward.
It must be something they do for tourists, like Colonial Williamsburg.
Schmigadoon, where the sun shines bright from July to June.
It's so close.
Okay, we did not buy tickets. I repeat, we're not ticket holders.
Stop it. Let us sing.
Schmigadoon, where it's warm and safe as a new cocoon, and our hearts all glow like a harvest moon. Schmigadoon, Schmigadoon, where the men are men and the cows are cows, and the farmers smile as they push their plows.
Hold on a minute.
Every lyric, I swear to God. Go on. I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, I'm is that not the most misogynistic lyric written in the last 40 years, where the men are men and the cows are cows? What are you saying? Oh my God. There's something really mean there, depending on how you take it. Of course, I'm just taking it the worst possible way.
And the trees are tall and we call it Schmigadoon.
Come on, it's charming.
Charming. It's Wicker Man.
Our school marm is Emma Tate. She helps our kids to punctuate.
Still unmarried at 28.
In Schmigadoon,
Bitch.
Farmer McDonough craved a son, but he had daughters, every one.
Touch him and you'll answer to my gun.
In Schmigadoon,
Sorry, Pete.
Larry Bean puts out our fires. Helen Pritt conducts the choirs. Doc is here to cure what ails.
And I am here in case he fails.
He is here in case he fails.
Oliver thrown in.
Pete, okay?
Henry Brown brings our eyes. Adam Bean gives advice.
In that shack is Buford Riggs.
I do unspeakable things to pigs.
He does unspeakable things to pigs.
It's the mayor!
This is never gonna end.
It's the mayor.
As mayor of Schmigadoon, I feel that I must stress our motto is we always strive for peace and happiness.
Our motto is we always strive for peace and happiness.
Yes, his name is Mayor Aloysius Manlove.
Damn it. You didn't. I was going to say, I want to point out that his name is Aloysius Manlove. So it sounds like I wish men love. Yes, yes, yes. I wonder why they've written him that. Before we go on, I just want to say that the musical writers are Cinco Paul and Ken Dwario.
And these are not people known for any previous contributions to the musical theater genre, really. They've done a lot of good writing for TV. The Lorax.
Yes. And Despicable Me, those cartoons.
Yes. And also I think Horton Hears a Who was from
I don't know about that one. And they also did something else. Now I can't think of what it is, and they'll hate me for it. But we named them.
But it is a real surprise to see the quality of what comes out of this score for me. Okay. Excuse me, the goddess is about to
I was wondering why you interrupted the entrance of Kristen Chenoweth. I said,
set it apart. Much as I love Alan Cumming, Kristen Chenoweth is the second coming of the goddess. So let us worship.
Okay.
It's Mrs. Layton! If Schmigadoon is to endure, it must be kept pristine and pure. This land on which our fathers trod must ever obey the laws of God.
Duh.
Everybody!
Well, you get the idea.
Did you notice that Kristen Chenoweth's lips look like half the female members of the Trump family?
Yes.
Isn't it amazing?
Yes, I did notice.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
They made her look as unpleasant as they properly can. There's a definite Melania thing going on there.
I didn't say they were unpleasant. I just said that they're also slightly orange. Kind of a dead orange.
I mean, she is kind of telling everyone in Brigadoon to be best. So it's a fitting comparison. Kristen Chenoweth could play Harold Hill, and I would love it. The woman is incapable of not coming up with a performance that's enjoyable. And here she consumes every ounce of oxygen around her and produces pure fire and fun every inch of the way.
People forget. Oh, sorry, finish.
Heaven help the person who has to share a screen with her, because she is just unbelievable. She's marvelous.
People forget
I
what
love her in this part.
That is, she isn't. Of course. Let's her big thing or main thing is, of course, singing, Broadway actress. I believe she would say that. But
Yes.
we cannot forget that there's a real. I don't want to say that Broadway actresses are not real actresses. That's not at all true. But she is also a straight actress. She did Bush and
Television, et cetera.
Daisies and won an Emmy for it. As
Yep.
it turns out, this is the same director.
Yep.
I want to get the Barry Sonnenfeld. So she's been hired again, and if enough people see this, she'll probably get another Emmy nomination.
By
if
the
not a win.
way, did you know Barry Sonnenfeld is very much like the lead character? He doesn't like
Hates them.
musicals.
He doesn't.
Hates
And
musicals.
they hired
Does
him for
not
this.
understand why a character should ever burst into song, is what
Correct.
he said in an interview.
So isn't that perfect that he's the one who directed this?
Absolutely, it's
And it
correct.
works.
Now, next video clip that
I'm
I
laughing,
want to
John,
bring
because I
up.
have this feeling you and I have done the same homework. Not
That's
really
okay.
sure,
There's only so much
but I'm
homework to be
laughing.
done. Now, I want to mention that Aaron Twight is one of my favorite Broadway performers.
So-
Oh, I've never heard of him.
You have a failer?
Hold
Yes,
on.
I have a
Stop.
feller.
And he's
Yes, let's. If you haven't heard of Aaron
I've
Twight,
heard of him, John. I'm being very
Oh, of
sarcastic.
course. To anyone out there who has not heard of him, Aaron Twight is devastatingly handsome, gorgeous voiced, currently one of the stars of Moulin Rouge. Many of us fell in love with him in Next to Normal, in Catch Me If You Can. He was, of course, one of the stars of the movie Les Mis. Do you hear the people sing? It is the song of angry men. That was him. And he's just a joy. And his passion for musicals comes through. He's always there when the musical theater community needs him. So it's nice to see him get a great showcase in this show. He plays a character who is so clearly a ripoff of Billy Bigelow in Carousel that it is
Please.
hilarious fun.
So, you have a failer?
Yes, I have a feller.
And he's okay with you walking on your own at night, talking with strange men?
Well, what's the question again?
Wait a minute. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get me to fall for you?
What? No.
Well, then why do those crazy kind of thoughts keep running through my head?
I don't really.
Well, you can forget it. Because no woman is gonna tie Danny Bailey down, no how.
Sure.
When a squirrel wants another squirrel, he don't bother to get attached.
They need a park
Kind
bench.
of so.
Well, there's a stage.
And a robin don't think about the future when he's got an itch to be scratched.
You're very good.
I'm like an animal in the wild, so here's a truth to which you must be reconciled.
Need a better agent.
Now, that, to my mind, is such pure fun.
Do you know that Aaron is the only nominee this year for an actor in a musical? The only nominee, and he still could not possibly. Wait, sorry. It's possible he cannot win. They have to get, is it 40 or 70% of the membership has to vote yes for him in order to win. So even though he's the only nominee for Best Actor, no one else is against him. He has to get, I don't remember whether it's 40 or 70% of the vote in order to win. He probably will get that.
See,
I know what I'm gonna move you on.
No, not yet. You don't. What makes me sick to my stomach about the Tony Committee is how full of shit they are. Yeah, I said it. How full of shit they are. They constantly change the rules in ways that are completely irrational and have nothing to do with sanity. I'm sorry. There used to be a rule that if you didn't have a minimum number of nominees in a category, you couldn't have a category. Do you remember Sunset Boulevard, Bill?
Yes.
Remember the musical? Remember
Yes.
when they had to qualify 2, not 1, but 2 off-Broadway musicals as Broadway musicals?
You're
just
welcome,
so
audience.
They could
For
give
this
Andrew
moment
Lloyd
of
Webber his
excitement in the
freaking
middle
award.
of a rather calm show. Yes, go
Well,
on.
they nominated Quilters, for God's sake. Now, Quilters was a charming show. It was intimate. It was very sweet. and no one does it in New York anymore. It's a show that can be done in community theater in out in Sheboygan, but nobody's looking to do it here. They nominated it out of hunger. So now, out of hunger, how can he be the only nominee? He's the only actor this season?
Because this season there were no other leading men yet, obviously because of the year. So wait, stop.
You know why? Because we didn't have a season.
Think about since we diverted to this topic briefly. Obviously, in Tina Turner the musical, I would have thought that Ike Turner would have been lead, but when I saw the show, he clearly is supporting and did get that nomination. The only other musical this year is Jagged Little Pill, and while the dad and the brother, well, the brother's definitely supporting. The dad is not lead. So Aaron, I always thought it was Twight, but anyway, Aaron is really the only nominee. So they at least nominated him, and again, he could lose. He has to get. I'm pretty sure it's 40% of the vote.
Isn't that going to be like a worse insult than if they
didn't nominate him? I do believe he is going to win.
But who's going to vote against him? He's marvelous.
Right, but you never know. People are funny, or people sometimes go off the rail and get upset. Not that
I don't think there's much
happens.
of an anti-Moulin Rouge.
No, there isn't. Actually, it's really good.
Yeah, you know what? I have had it with.
Oh God!
As we've said this before with jukebox musicals.
Back to this show.
I would rather watch a pastiche
Schmigadoon,
like this. Thank you.
Schmigadoon.
Now let's get to Schmigadoon's weak point. In the history of the Broadway musical, the worst number in a great musical that I can think of is something in The Music Man called Shapoopy. If you have never seen The Music Man,
I'll go with that. I don't know if it's the worst.
In the middle of Act 2, they needed a little bit of a boost. It's traditional to have an up song around 10 o'clock at night.
My luck, I'm going to get hired to play the song Shapoopy.
It's Marcellus.
I'm going to go. It's very nice.
Marcellus is the Music Man's sidekick in crime. And he sings a number about how, a woman who kissed on the very first date's a hussy. Twice isn't much better. But the girl who waits till the third time around, head in the clouds, feet in the ground, she's the girl you're glad you found. She's your Shapoopy.
Very intellectual. Very intellectual.
Dumbest showstopper. It isn't much of a showstopper. I've never seen it stop the show, no matter how well it's done. But it is a dumb ass number. It's just dumb. Well, Schmigadoon has come up with its own Shapoopy. And right in the first episode, they hit us with it. This was to make it clear that these characters break into song at the slightest cue/excuse you can come up with. Let me take that off the screen and bring this up.
Puddin', what's that?
What? Are you trying to tell me that you've never heard of corn pudding? She's never heard of corn pudding!
Oh no. It's a song. You just started another song.
Corn pudding, corn pudding, corn pudding, corn pudding, corn pudding, corn pudding!
Can we opt out of this?
My gal loves corn pudding. She eats it constantly. Sometimes I get to wondering a bit more than me. Does she love it more than me?
My guy loves corn pudding. I got the recipe. So if he wants my pudding, he'll have to marry me. Oh, he'll have to marry me.
I don't think they're talking about the dessert.
No.
You put the corn in the pudding and the pudding in the bowl. You put the bowl in your belly because it's good for the soul. You put the corn in the pudding and the
This is actually cat
put the bowl in your belly because it's good for the soul.
Who wants corn pudding?
We want corn pudding.
Who wants corn pudding?
We want corn pudding.
Now, I frankly love food. I am a foodie and proud to say it. And God knows my
I was
waistline.
afraid where you're going to go with this. Yes.
I've had real corn pudding, and it's
Yes, it's
delicious.
very good.
And it
Yes.
looks nothing like that glop that he was plopping around in that pot. And it's not something I would want to have for breakfast, quite frankly, because they're sitting down for breakfast at the local inn. What What a dumb song, but it's celebrating a tradition of dumb songs. You know, we talked about how one of the showstoppers back in 1903 in The Wizard of Oz was a song called Hurrah for Baffin's Bay. So dumb songs have long been a part of the genre. Can't really hold that one against them. Bill.
Well, actually, what they're doing is just what you said. They wanted to put a dumb song, and therefore it's not dumb.
Right.
It's actually
it's
outright
intentional
clever.
dumbness.
And here we are talking about it. And do you happen to remember you put the corn in the bowl and the bowl? What is it?
The corn and the pudding and the pudding in the
Pudding
bowl.
in the bowl and the bowl
the
and put in the
bowl
stomach. Yeah.
in your belly because it's good for your soul.
And look at that. You have it memorized, and I'm almost
Listen, I'm telling you, these things stick with me. At the end of the last few musicals I've been to that were new, did not have any songs to go home with. I just didn't. Sorry, didn't have it. Dear Evan Hansen, if I never hear any of those songs again, as long as I live, I will not have lost anything in my life. I thought the score was just blah.
It made me cry 3 times.
Oh God, no! I don't give a rat's puna what the teenager has put on Instagram and whether or not it's.
What about the song with his mother?
How do you know that a
Mother
teenager
song?
is lying? His
Well,
lips
yeah,
are moving.
that gets annoying.
The
I
idea
know,
that
but
a teenager would be upset about lying. They lie like they breathe. Are you kidding me? Please. It was just a. Oh, my students at NYU, they loved that show. It was the expression of their generation.
It probably appeals to young people like me and them.
The expression of my generation was a chorus line. And that show had a lot of truth in it. This show, please give me a break. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to pretend I'm younger than I am. Why would I want to do that?
Are you saying that I am? I would never do that.
No, I'm not saying that. But when you say that you're young, I'm not young, kid. Sorry, not young. I'm not ancient yet, but I'm not young. I'm only 61. I still have my virility. I would have to rewrite that line from 1776. But God help us. Back to Schmigadoon. Yes.
Schmigadoon. Yes.
Overall, here we are halfway through the series. We still don't know what Schmigadoon's definition of true love is. It's clear that the two lead characters care about each other. The question is it true love? And how will they find true love? Will they find it? And will they ever get out of Schmigadoon? Frankly, I wouldn't mind staying there myself. Now, my partner, Scott, has said this would be his idea of hell on earth and that he has no interest of even visiting Schmigadoon because he knows that if we actually did get into Schmigadoon, he would have to drag me kicking and screaming back into reality.
And you wouldn't shut up because every reference, you'd be like, oh, look at that. And that's what they just meant by that. And oh, that's what, yes. He would kill you.
Yes, it would kill him. And I would call upon the mayor and the minister's wife to come and defend me. I would befriend the mayor, of course, because I like Alan. And I would certainly befriend the minister's wife because I don't care if she's a meanie. Kristen Chenoweth is Kristen Chenoweth. Her character's a meanie. The real Kristen is an absolute angel.
Why is her name Margaret and Mildred? It's both.
I know. Well,
what's up with that?
I don't know.
Margaret, of course, we could be getting a little nod to
Margaret Hamilton.
I thought that.
Our good lady.
And then Mildred, I was thinking mildew, but I just was wondering what they are.
I'm
also,
not sure what the Mildred reference is.
On a point that both of us, I'm going to switch the topic slightly. Both of us agree kind of on this is. Now you've watched it twice. I've only watched it once. All 3 episodes you've watched twice. I've watched once, but I also listened to the score. I found that I did not, except for 2 people, did not feel myself overly attached to anybody yet. Yeah. My heart wasn't with anybody. Let me spit out who. I did like both of the lead characters, the 2 doctors. I identified with the male to some degree, the doctor and his kind of like, oh my God, but her also because I happen to like musicals and I like how she reacts to everything. But my heart still isn't with them yet because I find her a little annoying, as she should be in the writing. And of course, he's completely inept. Where my heart did come up with, go out to, is definitely Alan Cummings. Now,
Oh,
yes, I'm gay, so that's that. He's very blue, or as I would like to say, suffering from probably blue balls. Can we say that, or have I just been
Sure,
edited
no,
out?
that's
Okay.
perfectly
He's
acceptable.
even dressed in blue, but you
And
can
and on the wall of his home, there's a portrait of him as the classic, blue boy.
Oh, is he? Oh, so we got a lot of reference there.
Yes, lots
Very
of
good.
blue.
You know,
Lots of
damn,
blue,
John.
blue.
John. Seriously. One week, I'm just gonna drug you so that I can spit out all these things before you do. But I'm gonna keep going. So my heart goes out to him, and it is written beautifully. And you do feel bad, but you also feel bad for his wife, who is played by the wonderful actor. Wait, I have it here. I am not going to blow the mayor's wife. The mayor's wife. Wait, I've got it. I have it here someplace. Dear God. Anyway, she was in Avenue
Q. Everyone's a bit racist. Yes.
Cinderella and all that. And she also is a bit down because her husband, well, he isn't living up to his husband duties. So to be honest, those two characters, I feel for
that queer man of mine. Yes.
Yes, she does, which is really funny. So my one criticism at the moment is that my heart isn't running out to anybody yet. Although as I was watching these clips with you, I began to see the subtleties again and began to like everybody more again because anyway, that's my problem, is that I just haven't gotten attached to anybody yet. And usually in the pilot, I already get attached to somebody. That's why you come back. I'm not attached to Kristen Chenoweth, and I don't care. I like that she's kind of rotten. And I also know that they're going to write her in such a way that she is going to capture your heart at some
absolutely.
point.
She has to. That has to happen.
I know that something's going to come out of her.
Just
as we feel for the Trump family. We know there's something in there. We know, John.
Yeah, right. There isn't a heart in that clan, but that's another story. Back to Schmigadoon. I think the problem is neither of the leads has sung an emotionally three-dimensional song yet.
He hasn't sung anything.
No, he
had a little bit,
He's not connected to his emotions yet. So when he the only way you can sing in a musical is if you've connected to your emotion. It's an emotional high point, and he's in emotional denial. He loves her, but he denies that love. He denies himself the feeling of it.
I think he loves her.
I think he loves her, but he's in denial. He's right there with Cleopatra, up to his chin in denial, and forget about it. She is totally upfront emotionally, even though her emotions are a bit effed up. She even talks about effing in her lyric the one time she did sing.
It's so typical.
But anyway, they haven't really sung you need your lead character to sing an I Want song for a musical to take off.
But they haven't done that yet. Well, Alan Cummings sang, and almost God, everybody has sung one but them.
Except them. And you know what? It's when your lead character expresses want that a musical really takes off.
John, even though I know the answer, what is I Want song? And name some big ones.
I'll give you a couple of them. It's when one of the central characters in the show, and sometimes it can be more than one, but when at least one of the central characters in the show,
usually early in the show,
very early on in the first 20 minutes, preferably, or 30 minutes tops, will express what they most want. In Hairspray, they do it right in the initial number, which introduces you to Good Morning Baltimore. But the little girl lets it be known, the world's going to wake up and see Baltimore in me when I get to dance and express myself. I want to perform, so you know that.
Wicked. What's the one in Wicked? I know the answer to this. I'm just feeding you. So what's the one in Wicked?
Wicked, The Wizard and I.
The Wizard and I. In Sound of Music, the movie. It is.
I Have Confidence in Sunshine.
Okay.
Don't leave out one of my favorites in West Side Story. It's Tony's Something's Coming, Something Good, If I Can Wait. And each of these great musicals.
Every musical has one. Correct.
This show has given I Wants to not really given us much in the way of. The only one who's expressed his I don't want is the Billy Bigelow character. He's saying, "You can't tame me." And then after having his first evening spending time with the new visitor, he sings to her, "You tamed me." Oh, well, you knew that was coming. But she makes it clear, no, there's really no love affair here. It's just you're overreacting. And then he goes into a spoof of soliloquy from Carousel to express his frustration. It was beautiful. But we need, until we can emotionally connect with the leads, there's something missing here. And I wish they had given us an excuse to emotionally connect with them sooner.
Now, obviously, it's coming. If you should, the clip you just showed us of the intro, not the intro, the previews,
right?
The trailer.
It's getting harder at my age. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, there's a very West Side Story where the two of them are reaching for each other. Yes. I'm sure that is going to be the moment. I'm almost wondering, by the way, if the two of them don't, you almost think maybe if there is another season that we'll have two new leads. The two of them will find their thing and off they go. And then maybe
they
we'll
need
get
to learn
other
the
people.
lesson all over again. Whether or not there's another season of Schmigadoon, I don't know.
Yeah, ratings are.
It's hard to say yet because it's the one thing with streaming. It's
brand
brand new. It's brand new. Also, I hate to be unkind, but Apple Plus doesn't really have that much right now. There's not much there. Once I'm done watching Schmigadoon, I looked around at everything else. There's nothing there really that I would find.
This is a topic I'm going to get into in a moment, but let's keep staying here.
So is Schmigadoon worth watching? I would say from my point of view, hell yes. It is my fantasy come true. I could walk into a musical, and the wonderful thing about being a character in this musical, you don't have to memorize a blessed thing. It all spontaneously comes out. She suddenly starts singing and went, "Hey, it was like I knew all the words. They just came out of me." Once you surrender yourself to this place, you are part of it and it's a part of you. Bring it on. Bring it on. Take me there. Take me there, Lord. I wish to go now. You hear that, Elizabeth? I'm coming to join you, honey. I'm coming to Schmigadoon. I would love to spend a year or two in Schmigadoon. I could teach musical theater history there. We'll have a performing arts program.
Which in their case would just be history.
Yes, but of course. Yes. And are you kidding? Oh my God. I would be the PBS star there. It's just lovely. And
the last episode is called How We Change. So that could be a big little hint about what's coming.
And there has to be. A musical always comes to change. That's what musicals are about. A character or characters come to a point of change. Life must be radically different than it was at the start of the first act. So by the end of the show, all the necessary, in a traditional musical, from let's say the Mikado to Hello Dolly, all of the necessary characters are romantically paired off at the end appropriately. Now, occasionally a musical will have a character who's dead, as has been pointed out here. So West Side Story, Tony doesn't do very well at the end. But there is
he does not.
No, and there is no resolution really in West Side Story. The war is not over. There is clearly still bad feeling on both sides. But they've learned the hard way the price of their hate is death. That the price of their hate is the destruction of all that they hold dear. So there is change in some of them. Some of them are growing up. Maria has certainly grown up. And hopefully, the others have learned something. And
they do. That's why they help technically lift.
At the end of Dear Evan Hansen, the pathetic little teenager has gotten some kind of validation from the internet, and it's okay that he lied.
That is not what happens at the end of Dear Evan Hansen.
I'm not going to ruin the show. People might want to see a 29-year-old man play a 16-year-old boy.
Okay, moving on. Oh my God. Are we moving on? Or we're going to move on?
Yes. Let's move on.
There is something I want to bring up
before we lose Schmigadoon. So, my opinion, by all means, watch it. And here's the good news: if you wait a few more weeks, you can get Apple TV Plus as a free trial for 1 week, and just watch it all in one binge when it's all 6 episodes are done. Or it's only $5 a month, which is actually pretty reasonable for a streaming service. I don't mind paying $5 for another month to see the end of Schmigadoon. I am not going to sit around and hold on to it forever unless they come up with some other great TV shows. But Schmigadoon, definitely, in my opinion, worth giving it a shot. Did you feel that way?
Schmigadoon. Yes, I don't have the same at the moment, the same emotional excitement, adrenaline that I had when I first saw Glee. The first few episodes of Glee, I was jumping up and down. I thought that was great. I really like this. Because what?
Because the cast was younger and cuter.
Oh no, I mean, yes, they were, but no, that wasn't the well, yes, but no, that's not the case. I just that because I instantly felt for some of those characters right away, and this one I didn't until Alan Cummings, but I still feel for all of them. But this is a wonderful show, certainly for actors, for musical actors, for people who love musical theater. Yes, for gay people. I mean, the whole list is endless, and yes, it is. I hope it succeeds. I'm just not sure yet.
To also, please note, Jane Krakowski has yet
is coming. Yes,
Jane Krakowski, yet another one of the divine expressions.
She is playing the Countess Gabrielle von Berkelum. She even dresses like the Countess in The Sound of Music.
Yes,
she is playing the person from The Sound of Music.
And God bless. I mean, she is one of the few women who make me understand heterosexuality. I cannot personally understand men being attracted to women. I don't get it. And then I see someone like Jane Krakowski, and for one brief shining moment, I do understand. Wow, she is just so delightful and so gorgeous. She's sex on a platter.
I just want to point out to all the beautiful actresses out there of all ages, I still love you. And all the beautiful female casting agents.
I am not a misogynist. Women are God's gift. They are beautiful,
but
they are not there for sexual use. I'm sorry. That does not interest me. Sex with women? No. But there are so many. I'm sorry. There are just so many other things that you can be distracted by.
I think my phone is ringing. I have to go.
I mean, but anyway, back to us. So you were going to say something.
Back to my topic. Yes, you actually led into it, and now you've completely gone off track because I have to get a more serious tone right now. Serious tone. Something I'm annoyed about. Okay. I am an actor, and at the present moment, I'm about to be retiring from my day job and back into the business. Sort of new pictures are being done and all that sort of stuff. And one would say to oneself, well, there's nothing really out there. Well, on television, there probably is. There are so many channels, it is absolutely scary. And John, you just mentioned, for example, that this show is on Apple TV. And you said, well, there's not much else on Apple TV, but that if you want to see this show, then you have to pay $5 to get it as a streaming service. John, today in the last 2 days, I have been studying, and I'm only coming up with a few. I got to fit this up. I have a list of over 60, John, streaming and subscription services. And I'm going to name a few, but they're big. Paramount, which is really CBS extras, Disney, which is ABC extras, Peacock, which is NBC's extra. We have I'm watching something, the Sahari or something like that on Discovery Channel. It was all on there last season. I watched the first 2 hours this year and discovered they're putting it on Discovery Plus, and they want me to pay for that. Sitting here next to me is the prices for all these shows. The anger inside of me right now is the actor is going, well, at the present moment, somebody's got to freaking hire me. In fact, I would assume that they are running out of actors so quickly that probably pretty soon they're going to do a musical on Hallmark with Mitch O'Connell and Nancy Pelosi, because they're going to be the only two people left to do a freaking musical on, because they haven't found me yet to do the part. But what's getting me to a certain point here is how can I, as a subscriber, pay for all this?
Yeah.
Now I'm lucky. I'm yelling. I'm going to stop yelling. Yeah. I am a Screen Actors Guild member, and therefore I get a lot of these as screeners when it is time for the Screen Actors Guild Award. I am very fortunate. I get them free. I'm supposed to vote, and I'm very proud to say I watch these things to the point where it's ridiculous, but I watch everything. But how on earth am I supposed to watch all of this and pay for all of this? Almost every one of these channels has something probably wonderful Almost all of them. A lot of them have a lot of movies that are old. It is ridiculous, and I'm absolutely furious. This has to stop. The Tony Awards are going to be on, is it Paramount? I forgot now.
Yes, Paramount Plus.
Paramount. I have to pay to see the Tony Awards. How is that helping Broadway? People can't afford, they're not even going to know to go to that channel. It has to stop. When are we going to stop?
Whether I know, whether we like it or not, and frankly, I don't like it any more than you do. You and I grew up where in a world,
channels.
Here's our constant theme every week: in a world where entertainment was ABC, CBS, NBC. Then they threw in Fox. Then they threw, of course, there's PBS, and then came this thing called cable TV.
HBO, it was so exotic. It was like, how are we going to afford that? All my rich friends had that.
And the whole idea of
and they had Bette Midler, the damn idiots to start. I was so annoyed. I couldn't see it.
The whole concept behind pay TV was if you paid for it and got it on a cable, it would be ad-free. Ha, 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 ha. That didn't last. Then everyone wanted to own everything on either VHS, Betamax, or later DVDs. And well, the whole point of buying a DVD was then you wouldn't have to put up with any ads. And for those of you who haven't bought a DVD later, I dare you to find a DVD that doesn't have ads on it.
They start off with 5 minutes of commercials for other commercials.
Now, if you want to watch YouTube, which this is on, and you want to watch it ad-free, you're going to have to start paying a membership for that too.
$64.
Otherwise now, if you, a month. Otherwise, I have
not that we're complaining, YouTube. No. We think it's wonderful. Thank you, YouTube.
God bless YouTube. But at the same time, we have to contend with 5 to 6, ad breaks per 20 minutes on some of these. Some of the videos that I watch, which is very annoying. Thank God a lot of the historical dramas I like to watch have been on there for years and they don't bother putting advertising on them. I just get to watch those all I want. Long live old British, historical dramas. But anyway.
But there are cable channels and premium channels for that too.
Yes.
I have them here.
And you have to, I mean, it's so hard. The hot new show, have you seen do you know how many people do not get HBO, so they didn't see Game of Thrones until forever? My partner and I, we would only subscribe when it was the time to watch all of the new episodes. We only normally get Netflix until the pandemic shutdown. We would only get Netflix when The Crown came up, and we would watch the new season and then let go of our subscription. And
Netflix at least has a ton of stuff. It is actually worth the money.
Something new.
But there's 3 prices for that.
Yes,
there's
I know.
Regular TV, HD, and K. Yes.
Yeah, and there's the multi-unit thing.
Correct. I mean, seriously.
Right.
Seriously.
It's just too much. We can't keep up, guys. If you keep putting this many things out there, it does become a problem.
But I do love all these channels, and I want to be hired. I'm available. But seriously, can't we just put them all together, or at least get it down to 5?
People will learn how to navigate this, and the good things will survive. The good services will survive. Things like Netflix. Will Apple Plus survive? I don't know. I wish them well. That they allowed Schmigadoon to happen shows that they're open to experimentation. There have been musical theater TV series before. Remember that cop thing years ago?
Yes, Cop Rock.
Yeah, Cop Rock.
NBC.
It did not do well, but I thought it had a lot going for it. It was a shame it didn't catch on. I think, however, with streaming services, a show like this can build its audience and get discovered. I think that Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the musical,
which is really good. That was really good. You didn't like, please tell me you like that.
It's going to slowly build its fame and become something of a cult thing.
Audience, so that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was not a musical series, but they had one episode, and it actually was so excellent.
Yes,
that it was noted for being so excellent. So all the other shows began to do that, and not so.
And unfortunately, as a rule, they were not terribly good about it.
But usually, there's exceptions. I can't think of one right now, but there's
even a musical Scooby-Doo episode out there, which just if you ever see it and you have a choice between watching that and going down in the plane, go down in the goddamn plane.
Remember that, John? I work for an airline.
It's
We have to find another reference.
It's no, I'm serious. If you have a choice between that and a triple bypass,
That's
go
better.
in for the triple bypass. Is that better? Okay.
Well, except for the people who
until one of us has to go in for a triple bypass, then we're not going to find that so funny. Any current news events that we want to?
Oh, okay. You're switching topics. Okay,
yes,
hold on.
Yes.
Sorry. I guess because we're near the end. Okay. I would just like to say that actress Julie Halston has just won the Tony Award. It's a special Tony Award. It's the Isabel Stevenson Award. The Oscars give out the oh my God, what's it called, John? When they give it for charity work. Yes, we know it. We know it, and then we can't think of it right now. The Tonys do the same.
The Gene Herschel Award.
Correct. The Tony Awards have their own version of it, and Julie Halston, who's a great actress, she just was in Tootsie, and if you saw Tootsie, she was really funny. But she's just great. But this is for her charity work, and it is for the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation. Her work with that. Her husband, I don't want to say suffers, is living with the disease, so that is part of her motivation and her thrust forward for doing it. It is a lovely award, and she is certainly a wonderful recipient for it, meaning good for her. Hold on. Oh, there is going to be... John is very excited. There is going to be, now I don't have a lot of details yet. It's one of those things where it popped up. I caught it right now or very soon. Adam Pascal, from the lead from Rent, is going to be in a musical. I believe it's something they're developing. I think after a week of something, and they made this, but I believe it's going to go somewhere, of Hamlet. I could be wrong. It's been a musical version of Hamlet. A lot of things do get tried out and never go anywhere, or sometimes they do. Now, other Shakespeare things have become musicals. West Side Story, Kiss Me, Kate, and we can keep going. But there is going to be something with Adam Pascal.
To be or not to be, you mean a lot to me. Showstopper.
There are things that we thought, I thought, for example, that Big River, I mean, seriously, a musical about Huck Finn. I mean, how good could that be? It's going to totally suck. And it is not the greatest ever, but it's damn good.
It's a damn good musical.
So,
I think the amazing thing is that was a good musical, but Tom Sawyer failed. Would you think Tom Sawyer would make a good? And I kind of I didn't love the score, but I loved the show.
How could Titanic be a musical? How could it be a musical?
And yet it was.
It was. Do you know that I didn't want to get when I went to the box office, the man said, "Would you like front row?" And I said, "Well, I don't really think I want to go front row, not because I thought I was going to get wet. That isn't what I meant, but that I thought that there'd be this big, huge boat in front of me and that I would get to see nothing." That goes to, but my point here is that we don't know what Hamlet could be. But it is going to be a musical.
Hamlet does not work as a musical. This was done before. I saw it. It was at the Minskoff Theater. It was called Rockabye Hamlet, and it was directed by no less than the great Gower Champion. It was a rock musical version of Hamlet. The song about his father was entitled "He Got It in the Neck." I'm not making this up. And when Ophelia got to her scene where she falls in the water and dies, instead of that, she was singing on stage, and she took the microphone cord that she was singing on the mic of, wrapped it around her neck, and strangled herself and fell to the ground.
And you applauded.
I sat there in shock, watching that show. It was proof positive. This is why in the producers, the producers begins with Max Bialystok's new disaster opening at the Schubert Theater, Funny Boy, Hamlet, the musical, called Funny Boy. And then later on in the show, when he goes,
a lovely tribute to theater in it. So,
but when he goes,
it'll be a great number.
When he goes to see Roger Debris, the director, and his assistant Carmen Gia, the two of them go, "Oh, we saw Funny Boy. To be or not to be, you mean a lot to me. Showstopper. We loved it." Yes, it's a. Oh God,
John, while you are not an actor, I do not know.
Adam Pascal is now old enough to be King Claudius. He is no Hamlet. There is no way a man. The man is my age, damn near. He's only slightly younger than me. He's in his 50s, right? You can't have
I
a
did not
Hamlet
look.
in
I
his
did not expect you to go on a rant about him, so I do not know.
However,
He looks
I
good.
will say this much. If Ian McKellen right
He looks
now is
good.
knocking everyone on their ass in England with his performance as Hamlet at the age of 81, God bless Sir Ian, one of my favorite actors on earth. The one chance I had to pick him up, I didn't. What a fool I was. I didn't know then that he was gay. That's a long story we'll save for some cozy night by the fire. But you got to remember, he was once called the handsomest man in London, and he was a very good-looking man. He still looks great for any age. He's just amazing. But Hamlet the musical, please, go. I hereby predict fiasco. It's
okay. Moving on. There is going to be a score written for The Great Gatsby, and it is going to be done by Florence Welch. Now, Florence Welch, you may remember, she's with the
wait a minute. Cranky Squirrel, one of our viewers, has pointed out Gilligan's Island tackled the idea of musicalizing Hamlet. There was an episode of Gilligan's Island where they did a musical Hamlet. So
what was the guest's name, by the way?
It's Cranky Squirrel. If
Cranky
you take a look
Squirrel.
on your comments. Yes. Thank you, Cranky Squirrel.
I would like to one day meet Cranky Squirrel.
And Mr. G has pointed out, for all who have a birthday this week, happy birthday. Yes, I think I know someone who has a birthday. Wouldn't that be you, Mr. McKay?
Yes, that would be. But Mr. G is one of, I suspect, one of my best friends. And he's no, I'm going to stop. Okay. Yes. He unfortunately, Mr. G cannot remember when my birthday is, so right now he's fishing for what that day is.
Well,
John, when is my birthday? Do you know?
Yeah, your birthday is tomorrow, sir.
Thank you, John. All my friends truly do know when my birthday is, but the best man at my wedding does not remember when my birthday is. We digress. Okay, so the score to The Great Gatsby is going to be done by Florence and the Machine, right? That song, The Dog Days Are Over. She's beautiful. She has red hair. She's very theatrical. I have a little bit of hope for this. In other words, she even looks the era, but who knows what will come of it? We don't know. Who would have imagined that who would have imagined that oh my god, the waitress written by what?
Bareilles, is that her name?
Yes, that it would be as good as it is, the score, and look at what she's going on to become and doing super well. You never know.
I love
where people come.
Now she appeared as Mary Magdalene in Jesus Christ
Superstar, the TV.
She was wonderful in
that. Got an Emmy nomination for it.
Wonderful in that. That was the best Superstar production I've ever seen. I thought it was beyond superb. And John Legend, some people said, "Oh, he wasn't a good enough actor." Baloney. He was superb. He was exactly what was called for.
Would have prefer you hit the higher notes.
Yeah, but
he was very cute, and I did feel for him when he died.
The emotional impact of the ending was there. Religious. And the show did not let production get in the way. The production empowered what was going on. And you only had one of the finest actors on earth playing Judas. And that's what you need. Judas is the fire in that show.
Who was that?
Why that role made oh good Lord.
Yeah, I can't remember either. That's why I figured that you brought it up.
No, well, because he's also the person who challenged Vice President Mike Pence from the stage of Hamilton and let them know that we represent the America that is afraid that you will not represent us. And I will always remember him for that. And if anyone out there remembers that name, please put it in comments. And
I could look it up quickly, but
now,
I wouldn't be surprised if my husband finds it quickly. The last thing I just want to bring up, it's kind of sad, meaning something. I'm concerned. You and I are both concerned. You and I have a feeling this week we won't get to talk about it, but you and I did go to the theater district this week.
Yes.
He and I went to the theater district not to see a show because there are no shows, but we're kind of excited and hopeful that shows are scheduled to start in September. But right now, it's
right
not
now. The
looking
theater
good.
district, ladies and gentlemen, is dead. It's dead. Please do not buy into any of this. Oh, New York is back that you're hearing. No, it's not. In the theater district, our favorite restaurants are mostly still closed.
There are some open.
There are one or two open, but they are few and far between. A lot of them have signs up saying, "See you in September," assuming September happens. Guys, it's as simple as this. Get vaccinated. For God's sake, get vaccinated.
I wasn't going to send you in this direction, but okay.
Thank you, Cranky Squirrel. Brandon Victor Dixon was the actor we were trying to think.
We're going to have to find out who Cranky Squirrel is, by the way.
Cranky Squirrel, we want to talk to you. You sound like our kind of person. We love you. Thank you. But very simply, it was said by Dr. Fauci, and I believe it's true, this is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Those who are unvaccinated are becoming a laboratory where this virus can mutate and become more deadly yet again. There is an answer to anyone out there who says, oh, I don't trust these vaccines. You don't trust these? Would all those here who have ever had smallpox please raise their hands? Okay, that's everybody. Would all those here who have ever had the mumps please raise their hands?
Oh,
I did. Right. Now,
because I'm old,
promptly
as Mr. G will point out.
You and I are the last generation that got the mumps. 1 year after we got the mumps, after I got the mumps at age 6, they came out with the vaccine to prevent it. By that time, I was totally deaf in this ear, nerve deafness caused by mumps. I am a believer in vaccines. I never had smallpox. I never had so many other diseases. Would all those who know someone who died of polio raise your hands? Nope. You have to be 80 years old or older to remember that nightmare time. It is vaccines that have made our survival in modern times possible. And anyone who doesn't get that, get better medication. You are risking all of our lives with your freaking stupidity and pig ignorance. Okay, let go of the pig ignorance. There is no opinion that's the opinion that says there's a reason not to get a vaccine is right up there with the opinion that says that if I shine a light up my butt or drink some Clorox, I'm going to not get COVID. It's stupid. It's completely irrational. Let it go, get vaccinated. And quite frankly, it's time for the president and for all governors and leaders in this country to require vaccinations. We need to do what Macron has done in France. Make vaccinations necessary if you want to have a public life. All of a sudden, people are like, oh, okay, well, if it means I can't go out to have a drink, I'll get a vaccine. Simple, pimple. Make it that simple, guys. Because you know what? If we don't, come September, this thing's going to be back. And we're going to be doing what they're doing in London right now. Reopening a show one night and then reclosing it a week later.
All over in London, shows are running 3 nights and closing for a week, closing permanently. It's been bad.
Yeah.
We have shows here now. Springsteen is running. I know there's a play that 2 of my friends are in that starts tonight off Broadway. I hope it opens. It opens on the 6th. It starts next week. The point is, I'm concerned. Yeah. And so the point of this was,
and there's good
actors were concerned.
There's reason to be concerned. In the meantime, everyone,
on a happy note,
yes, do not let politics get between you and your health. Do what is sensible. Get vaccinated. Wear masks when you're in the proper place. I have to go to give a talk in Queens tomorrow. You know I'm going to be masked all the way on train and bus out to Queens, and I'm comfortable with that. I've been through hospitalization for respiratory issues in my life. It is not fun to be on oxygen. I never had to be ventilated. Oh my God. But that's terrifying. Do you know what it is to be ventilated? You have a tube placed into your throat to breathe for you. You cannot talk. You cannot eat. You have to express yourself by writing things out or typing. It's terrifying. Don't go there, folks. Be smart. Do what it takes to end this nightmare. We have it in our power. We have it. We just need to do it.
And it's free.
Mr. G just said, preach. You would have to be an idiot to not get the needle. Thank you. Especially those of a certain age with health issues. Totally agreement, Mr. G. Totally in agreement.
Did really Mr. G say that? Oh, that's quite interesting.
Yep.
The reason I'm laughing is Mr. G.
To all of you out there, stay well. Keep loving musicals because that's what we're about here. I wish you all a wonderful week. Next week, we're going to have a little appreciation of someone who's very dear to my heart and Bill's heart, and I'm sure all of your hearts. An actor by the name of Hugh Jackman. We're going to be talking about Hugh. Hugh. We will be talking about Hugh.
So
Hugh.
I told John that this week I will, of course, be doing all my homework, and I will be especially attuned to looking at all the stills of Mr. Jackman with his shirt off. I feel that it is my gift to all of you to do the right amount of research. Okay?
Absolutely.
I am here for all of you.
You will get it done. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and we'll see you next week.